don't see how we can't be happy about that. It should. So I immediately, set myself up, to expect a new week. VIP section, you guys know how to do. So that's it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Raider Nation. It is Tuesday, April 30th. On this lovely Tuesday, after the big draft, which was quite a bit of a fiasco, debacle, I don't know whatever you want to call it. It was a blast. Shout out to TRS. Shout out to my fellow Raider Nation fans that showed up for the game. I mean, for the draft. You know, we was pretty thick in it. It was pretty thick, I have to say. It was exciting to see so many fans just in general. Ladies and gentlemen, Detroit is lit. You know, shout out to my guy T Money. Who knows if he's watching, know him. He's in one of these beautiful cars that he showed us. Man, I have never had such great hospitality. I mean, man, I've been to a lot of big cities, pretty much all the big ones in the United States. I have to be honest, it was by far the most entertaining / amazing, just very thoughtful. Everyone. It brought me back to, back in the day when you were much younger and you were bringing your college friends home, things like that, and everybody just showing love and always just remembering, those places becoming your favorites. As you know, my guy Tony from he's an hour away, 45 minutes away from Omaha. That's exactly how I fell in love with that city. Believe it or not. Absolutely. It's not much out there, right? I'm going to be honest, but it really honestly is, ladies and gentlemen. It's the culture, it's that hospitality, the way they treat people, the way they treat each other. It's very different than when I've been to Detroit for the first time. So I have to admit, the first time I was in Detroit was a long while back. And I couldn't get on the plane fast enough. It was a disaster. And I told myself, you know what? If I never come back to Detroit again, it'll be too soon. You know what I'm saying? So, gave it another shot, right? Give it shot number 2. And I said to myself, I did tell myself I won't come back here again. So this is my own fault, right? It's my own fault for doing this to myself. It is what it is, right? And then the third time was a charm, ladies and gentlemen. I just have to tell you. In fact, it was the first time we played the Lions. When was that? It was a while back. Before I met Big Daddy, before I met Chris, PTS, Leo, a bunch of the guys. We played Detroit one of those games. And that's the first time I was there. And the city was cool. It was much better than the last time I'd recalled it, for sure. Not everything that's there today was built up as it is right now. But you could see it on the comeback. You know what I mean? It was on the cusp of bringing itself from the depths of pure hell. Just to be honest, let's keep it a buck. I mean, you're talking about Flint and the water and houses costing $1. It was pretty interesting as far as seeing that stuff in person, and as it was currently happening, just the city in shambles, not being able to pay their bills, just a ton of chaos. To now, you go to Detroit. I absolutely assure you, you will have a good time, particularly if you're downtown. You have to remember, they're literally a bridge away from Canada, from another country, right over the water. I believe it is Windsor, Canada, which was pretty hilarious because I actually have some guys that live out there, born and raised in Windsor, Connecticut, with me, and that was one of the first things. He couldn't believe, what? They got a University of Windsor? Yeah, that was a pretty cool story. That's pretty funny. But yeah, it's everything it's all cracked up to be. I have to be honest. I mean, if I had to move to a cold state, as of right now, if I was forced to move to a cold state, it might be Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. It might be Detroit. I gotta be honest. I was that impressed. I mean, it's got a lot of rich history. You gotta remember Motown. They had it set up beautifully too. They had a tour, but we didn't have time. We didn't have time to do the tour. There was just too much going on. So we didn't do the tour, but we got to drive around, see a lot of the locations and footage of where they shot, the Eminem movie, 8 Mile, all that stuff. MC Raider was cracking me up, talking about all the buildings, etc., that we were running into. Remember this? This was this on the movie. It's funny. So really, really good time. Really, really good time. Shout out to my guy, MC Raider. That was actually my first time being able to hang with him personally live, right? Chris, Leo, I've been with quite a few times. But that was my first time with MC Raider. And talk about a blast. Very knowledgeable. First off, funny. A lot of people, comedian, funny. He's hilarious, first and foremost. Very, very knowledgeable in the cigar game. Shout out to my guy. Very knowledgeable in the cigar game. Just a delight to be around, for sure, when it comes to anything related in general. Another just good dude. You could just tell, just really a good-hearted guy, for the most part. So, again, shout out to my guy MC Raider. That was a blast. And again, shout out to my guy T Money 8. You definitely lived up to everything we could have imagined as far as having a host. You know what I'm saying? Having any and everything that you could ask for as far as figuring out what you want to do in that city. So excellent time. As far as food, we went to a steakhouse, Prime and Proper. I think that's the name. I think we may have said it on the Raider Syndicate. You got to check that show out. That one was hilarious. We went forever on that show last Sunday. But yeah, a lot of good funny stories. But yeah, we went out to eat. Unbelievable steakhouse. Right next to the location we were sitting, as far as watching the draft. We didn't go into all of the chaos like we did day one on that Thursday. We kept it out of that circle, but in another location they had blocked off with a big, huge screen. Actually, it was pretty dope. It was better than the location if you weren't in the inner circle, if you will. But it had its own DJ. If y'all don't know what up though, that right there in itself lets a person know if you know anything about Detroit. They all know what that is, and that don't matter who you are. It's pretty hilarious. I'm not even gonna front, especially when you hear white folks say what up though. Yeah, it was pretty funny. You know what? I'm not having good hospitality right now myself. So I need to fix that ASAP. Yeah, I need to shout out my people, my 6 people that is in the chat. So first and foremost, let's start going through this. Broken Halo. IFA. I'm not sure what that means, but I had to put it up there because you put it, and I'm sure you'll explain unless it was just a typo, obviously. Next Sun Goddess is in the building. Tuesday blessings it is. Thank you for stopping through and supporting your boy as always. Now we got Broken Halo. Finally had to unsubscribe to Wi-Fi Willie. He should just become a Saints fan. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I'll never forget when I first saw that guy. You know, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. My guy, Space Boost. Surf in the building. Appreciate you. My guy, El Capitan is in the building. Thank you, as always, my dude, for stopping through, coming to check your boy out. And you already know what it is. It's TRS. It's your boy Rundown. Appreciate you for stopping through, as always, man. We got another one up in the building. Boss Raider Nation for life. Yes, sir. And last but not least, I am not sure if I like Mr. Milo Hunt right now. What's cracking, Milo? Is AOC the man? AOC is the man. How are you doing this? You didn't put a question mark, so that's why I had to give you that pause there, if you will. I agree with you, Milo. Absolutely. AOC is the man. I really think he's going to win the battle. I have to tell you. I honestly, truly, in my heart, believe that he's going to win the battle. Without a question. Without a question. So, don't get me wrong. I mean, my feelings will be hurt for like 2 seconds, right? Because our backup, or right, who's going to be the starter, if you will, is Gardner Minshew. And you know anything about Gardner Minshew, he's a dog. He's ready. He's been ready. It's pretty much going to be easy for him to adapt, right? Make changes, move, however he needs to in order to win the job, which is why this is so important for us in order for us to do something in the playoffs this year. Not just get to the playoffs, but actually do something. It's absolutely going to depend on whoever is that starting quarterback. They have no excuse. No excuses. I think our roster is pretty solid. It is definitely the best roster we've had in quite some time, from top to bottom. Defense was so ahead of us last year for obvious reasons, right? Due to the fact that, we lost all of our offensive coaching the minute we fired, McDummy. So as soon as that happened, we were literally flying by the seat of our pants with one guy on that offensive side of the ball who was promoted to offensive coordinator from the quarterback's coach position. So that's tough, man. That's a hard mountain to climb and get over. And some people will absolutely say AOC didn't even come close to getting over the mountain. Some will say he got close to the top. Some will say good progress. I'm in the middle of gotten to the top and good progress. I really believe in the kid. I think he's going to have a good shot of winning this battle. But if not, I've already said it. I'm going to be more than okay with it because I actually love Minshew. I think he fits perfectly with the locker room, with the city. He's definitely a favorite as far as the players are concerned. You can just tell he knows how to insert himself in a room and really make things pop. So I don't know how you can't be excited. I know a lot of people wanted a quarterback. To you guys, I think our front office knows exactly what they're doing, and there's a reason they didn't go for a quarterback, not getting Daniels, right? We all know the story. Yes, they went all the way up as best as they could as far as giving the Commanders, right, giving the Patriots whatever they wanted from that respect. So, I mean, what do you want to do? They tried, and it didn't work. Now after the fact, we all heard exactly what they were thinking and feeling. There wasn't even with my guy Jordan Travis, who I absolutely wanted, would have been happy with him. But yeah, they weren't thinking twice about quarterback after the letdown and Daniels going to the Commanders. So we got what we got, and y'all already know we're not going to deep dive, right? We're going to definitely dive into our draft picks. For sure, we're going to dive into our draft picks. We will not dive into the undrafted free agents. And I'm not even going to dive heavy into the draft picks, right? I'm talking spending 3 to 5 minutes on each one of them. We got 8. That's more than enough. As you know, I'm still doing my player evaluations, if you will, right? So there's a lot to bring to the Raider Nation as far as giving y'all as much information I can on the people that are on the team. Let me look at this chat. Shout out to D Minutes. I see you, boss. Appreciate you for stopping through. You already know. TRS members in the building. What up, though? Raiders. Gosh. What a good time, right, Leo? What a good time. Our homegirl, the one and only, Myra G in the building. That's really what she meant to say. Happy Turf Tuesday and TRS. I like that. Turf Tuesday. I like that. That's a good ring to it, Myra. I need to hire you. Leo, hindsight. Tom did his thing signing Minshew. We didn't have to force taking a quarterback. Absolutely 100%, Leo. I couldn't say that better myself. They all had that, I think, in their mind. And we didn't know that, obviously, but I think they all knew, look, we don't get our guy. Not only are we going to get the best guy if it's something significant, and a lot of people think Bowers is pretty significant, right? So, it was either that or Daniels. And then outside of that, now we're going to fill this thing out the way as best as we see fit. And as Leo said, I think he did a tremendous job. Shout out to Telesco. Yeah, I thought he did a tremendous job. I am very excited. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Turf is drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm all over it. I'm just really excited. I think we have a really, really good shot at doing some things in the playoffs. We don't have a rookie, so believe it or not, our chances go up as far as making it to the big dance. I'm going to keep repeating these stats until they don't mean anything anymore, right? Because I'm tired of us arguing over things that may not make sense to even argue over. And one of those is exactly that, thinking a rookie is going to take you to the big dance. It's just not going to happen. So, it is what it is. Let people think what they want. I have no problem with it. I just know that we actually have a shot now. And that's what's most important to your boy Turf. So, I'm just ready, man. I'm just ready. I'm going to dive right into this. Diving right in. Here it is, 2024 class, ladies and gentlemen. 8 players. 8, I would say, impressive players in their own right. In their own light. Honestly, we gonna just run it right down the line. First rounder, Brock Bowers. I'll admit it. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris helped me brought me to the front of the congregation, and rightfully so. I was absolutely eternally pissed over this pick. I was not happy. I will be the first to admit. I mean, storming out the room like a child. Turf was looking terrible. I mean, but it is, just put yourself in that moment of the amount of times that they've let us down with draft picks, and the amount of times that we come to the table and we're all thinking one thing. This was one of those years that for the first time we collectively kind of had the same thought processes in mind. They were very specific people. For the most part, that you could probably put 80% of the fans in. You can pick 3 people, and 80% of the fans wanted those people and probably would have been happy. 100%. There's absolutely no way on God's green earth anybody is going to tell me they knew, unless they were 100% insider, got insider knowledge right there at the draft, because nobody knew who was going to be at 13. Especially after Penix getting drafted by the Falcons. Nobody knew that was coming. So it threw me off, man. I'm not going to lie. Between that, it brought me back to my childhood. Yeah, between that, I felt like as we were running out of there, I felt like they were throwing stuff at us, laughing at us. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, how Turf felt. I was just hurt. I was sick. I was like, I cannot believe they did this to us. We spent our hard money to come out here, and you pick a tight end in the first round at 13? Almost couldn't come back from it. I honestly almost couldn't come back from it. So it was pretty interesting to see, to say the least. The reactions from everybody. Most people had the same reaction I had. I got a lot of videos that were sent to me with literally exactly the same sentiment. And, it was like, here it is for the first time. You know what I mean? We think we're going to get a position of need, right? Because all these other years, they've been so-called drafting the best talent, right? You think you're going to see something different? We didn't see anything different. So, shout out to Brock Bowers. I'm not even going to talk much about that kid. He's an absolute stud. I don't think I need to talk much about the first 2 picks. You got to watch football enough to know these guys are absolute studs. They are absolutely going to be game changers, difference makers in their own right, both of them. I will just start out to say Brock is a freaking monster, freak of nature / wild man. I mean, 6'4", 240, 255, something like that, running a 4.5 40. You can line him up in the slot. You can line him up at tight end. He can block. I mean, if you go and look and, the bottom line is a lot of people had him as the number 2 player in the draft. Not tight end, not position, not player overall. The only other player overall that people thought was better than him was obviously who went number 1 in your guy, Caleb Williams. That's it. Nobody else put this guy, anybody else above this guy. And we got him at 13. People thought the Chargers would get him. People thought, there were a couple of other teams. They thought the Jets would get him. There were a couple of teams that people expected Bowers to go to. And if you see, for the record, I haven't seen anybody give us anything less than an A for a grade as far as that pick. Maybe some non-watching person. I don't know. But absolutely a solid pick. Now, hindsight makes it super easy. You're not in your feelings. I always need to be that way anyways. And it works both ways, right? Sometimes I'll be super excited about a pick that we got that I may have wanted. And, hindsight, you're like, yeah, especially when it doesn't work out. Because, again, ladies and gentlemen, the chances of these players coming in, working out, having longevity, all this stuff, it's far and few between. We are talking the NFL. It's real out there, 100%. So you definitely got to be prepared. And Brock Bowers, I'm excited. I'm excited for him. My guy, Raider transplant, Angelo. Welcome to the show, my dude. Welcome to the show. My God. Hey, MC Raiders in the building. What up, though? Man, I can't wait to kick it again, man. And you better understand, I'm taking you up August, bro. You know what I'm talking about. August. We there. We in there. Yeah, for sure. Brock Bowers. It is what it is, man. I'm excited now about it. I'll be honest. There's so much we can do, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just give a little bit more of this tidbit. You've been hearing it, personnel 12, right? And double tights, right? But the truth of the matter is that can be disguised for anything. Brock Bowers can be a wide out. He can be your one wide receiver. He can be your two wide receiver. He can be your slot wide receiver. He can be your blocking tight end. He can be your pass tight end. There's really no way to defend him from that respect. Now you add that on top of the best wide receiver in the game. I'm sorry, I'm putting it there. Devontae Adams, shout out G Adams, the best receiver in the game. Jacoby Myers, man, we picked up Michael Gallup. I mean, I'm not even a fan of his, but the reality is he's got talent. You know what I mean? Zeus. Again, we're going to go through this, but it's an exciting time for our offense. And like I said to start, there's absolutely no excuses. I don't care who's under center for a lot of reasons. No more excuses. I don't want to hear anything about we need time to get the offense down. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm just being honest. There's just way too many weapons on this team to not get these guys the ball in an efficient way for them to be able to make plays on their own. That's why they are who they are. They make plays, and it's a matter of getting them in space, getting them out to obviously be able to do what they do. So it's a bright future, ladies and gentlemen. Our offense, I feel like, has caught up a little bit, right? And obviously we'll start going down the line. Why do I think our offense have caught up? Because our guy, Jackson Powers Johnson at number 2, as far as the round pick, number 44, as far as the player pick. This was a special one for me. And the reason this one was special for me is because our guy, PTS, has been talking about Jackson Powers Johnson since day one, since the season ended and we all started, digging into this offseason. Who wants who wants what? My man Chris was super high on Jackson Powers Johnson. We all know, he's been, labeled baby incognito. He's clearly a nasty, nasty player. If you didn't know, he's an ex-wrestler. Shout out to all my wrestlers. Those dudes just have different motors, man. They're just built different. I can't explain it. If you ever compete against one, and it doesn't matter what sport, that's the bad thing about it. You get a wrestler in basketball, man. Do you think it's going to be easy on the block? You crazy. Obviously, football, baseball, even baseball. I could see a wrestler figuring out a way to make baseball something different, if you will. I mean, it's just crazy. Wrestlers are just such natural athletes every which way till Sunday, particularly the good ones. So they can jump into anything. and rock. So Jackson Powers Johnson, absolute amazing pickup. Exactly what we needed. In college, he was a center, right? But they've got all kinds of stats on him. Like I say, I'm not going to dive too deep into these guys right now. Well, we got plenty of time to dive into them. Pause. Players camp for rookies start, I want to say May 13th. So in 13 days, 2 weeks, I believe they start. And shortly after that, the vets show up and, partake. But this kid, I don't see how he doesn't start immediately effectively. Well, I don't know. Is he taking Parham's job? Is he taking the left tackle? Y'all tell me. Where's our people at that, have their fan favorites on the offensive line, and what do they think? I think he's going to absolutely start immediately. And my guess is it's going to be right guard. That's my guess. And to be honest, I think our guy James is a little unsettled. I did read a comment that the Raiders were so gracious and, thoughtful that they called Andre James, and let him know, hey, we're picking this Powers kid, but don't worry about it. You're our center. So clearly that lets us know they're looking to bring him in as a guard, solid guard, right? Beautiful thing is he can play both sides. He can move. We'll talk about those, right? Those intangibles, all those numbers, right? Those gaudy numbers. Him and Brock Bowers both have ridiculous numbers for their position. The last one I will throw out there is, I believe he pushed out like 30 reps on 225. Powers Johnson. That's just nasty. Absolutely nasty. So yeah, I mean, that's what you got, man. That's what you got. Now, we finally get into a location, if you will, of, DJ Glaze. I don't know, man. A lot of people thought it was a reach at 77. I'm not going to act like I, knew a whole lot, as far as tackles are concerned. My eyes were really solely on Fuaga, Fasano, Alt, obviously, as my number one. And even the kid from Alabama, who Rundown absolutely hates. But I understand, man. I mean, we all are still shell-shocked from Alabama linemen. It's going to take a long time to get over that. But yeah, DJ Glaze, some say a reach. I mean, do we think he'd beat her at 112? I don't think so. I can't recall the specific stat, but when I do my breakdown on these guys, I'll make sure I name it. But what I can tell you is that DJ Glaze was 6 out of 10. Jackson Powers Johnson was 2 out of 10. And it's a very important stat. I want to say like something along the lines of keeping your quarterback clean, no hits, no pressures, things like that. They were number 2 and 6 out of 10. We got 2 linemen in this draft, 2 of the top 10 in this particular stat. As far as quarterback, it's going to be sacks or pressure, something along those lines, but it's a stat that everybody pays attention to. And I think a lot of people overlook that when it comes to DJ Glaze. I swear, it's like I'm talking about a DJ. Like a dude at the club. DJ Glaze is in the building. But yeah, it's he stands out because he's a big body too. He's a big body guy. He can actually move. Again, not going to dive in too heavy on these guys. I just want to scratch the surface, if you will. And I understand if people think he's a reach. I'm okay with that. I think it was the right pick. I mean, we are addressing probably the biggest problem we had, and I think that's arguable because a lot of people still think that our quarterback position is the biggest position problem we have. I personally thought it was offensive line, 100% offensive line. Hence why I wanted an offensive tackle. I wanted Fuaga. He was right there. And this also fueled the fire of my, stomping around like a baby and, crying because I didn't get what I wanted when it comes to my tight end. I mean, when it comes to my tackle, I got a tight end. And, it just sent me over the edge. But with that being said, this helped it because, again, I get it, maybe a reach, whatever, but we got an offensive tackle. At least somebody that absolutely will be behind Mumford, if you will, and potentially maybe challenge him for the spot. Pundit number one shots, right? DJ Glaze, baby. Let's go. So welcome to the team. Absolutely. Welcome to the team. Now, the Camryon, I don't know how you pronounce that, man. D. Richardson is what I'm about to call this kid. Shout out to D. Richardson in the building from Mississippi State. What I like about this guy, he's fast and he's long. I think we arguably will have the best defensive line in football next year. I don't see how we don't. And if we don't, wow. We have a group of guys that I just don't see how it misses. I just don't see how it misses. I don't know how it misses. And I mean, a guy like him, tall, I want to say he's like 6'2", 6'3", ran a 4.3 40, 4.34 40. A lot of people said they didn't like his hips, stiff, pause, a couple of movement issues. But again, with what we're about to produce on the field, I think he could become more of a weapon than you could ever imagine. With that speed, that size, opposite Jack, that could be a problem. That could absolutely be a problem. So, nothing much else on him. Round 4, right? Like I said, we'll dig into those details in the background and, where he came from, where he grew up, all that stuff at a later point in time. Now, this next pick, Tommy Iceberg Eichenberg. Yeah, we've already nicknamed him Iceberg, or he's already nicknamed himself. I don't know. Whoever did it, we like it. Sticking to it. It is what it is. Tommy Eichenberg, 5th round, pick number 148, Ohio State linebacker. I adore this pick. It is a pick of need. I'm assuming he'll be back. Who knows? Maybe he's starting alongside, right? Does he take out Masterson? Does he take out, Diablo? We obviously know Spillane is pretty much going to be a lock, I think. I think Spillane even takes leaps and bounds this year and gets better at his position for sure. It's absolutely very possible for him to get close to Pro Bowl play when it comes to Spillane. He's going to have another full year in the offense. He is the commander of the offense. He runs it. Defense, my bad. So, I love it. Having Tommy Eichenberg behind. Look, the one thing that stuck out to me, obviously, is his play, but the fact that he is like completely just drunk in football. There's nobody loves the game more than him. Most people will tell you. Anybody that knows him, right? He's a student of the game. It's why he's as good as he is. The kid's numbers aren't great. The one thing that, I didn't like to see is the fact that he ran a 4.8, 4.7 40, something along those lines. He's absolutely not a cover linebacker. So, again, right, kind of puts us in some precarious positions, if you will, having him out there, depending on what, personnel is out there to help and, give him some cover based on that. We don't know those things yet. I have faith in Patrick Graham to do a lot with a kid like Eichenberg because of his cerebral mind and his ability to understand the game the way he does. It absolutely shows in his play. It 100% shows in the play. And you see a much more confident person out there when they absolutely know what's going on, where they can, cheat, all those things. Man, there's just so many nuances to playing the game and stuff that's hard to explain until you're out there. And then you can wind tape and show and speak to the fact of why you knew certain things were going to happen just based on that studying. It's very imperative to know the playbook. I mean, it's everything in the NFL, to be honest. And it is going to be one of the most complicated things that you have to do as far as any job. Memorizing all of the audibles, all of the hot routes. And that's for every position. Like, that's I'm center, guard, right? Every single position, you have to know everything that's going on. You have to know how you contribute and where if you mess up, how it can be detrimental to the play, to the player, right? There's just a lot going on that people don't tend to recognize. So, yeah, I think the iceberg is going to fit in absolutely lovely. And, I'm happy he's on the squad. 100%. Shout out to Tommy Iceberg Eichenberg. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna run up in these chats here. Since I've gotten through 5 of the players, we got 3 more, and then the undrafted. Like I said, I'm just gonna run through them. But yeah, let's see what people are saying. Coach DC says, "Nah, bruh, you're not keeping it real. They wanted the Penix. Falcons swoop, and we had to pivot. Yeah, it could have been a T, but Telesco had Glaze penciled in already." Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm not going to lie. I actually think the game plan was Penix as well. Real talk. They knew, look, y'all can ask, right? We are all in here. Well, at least I know Leah is here. I've seen Rundown. They will tell you. I came clean and gave up a while ago and was like, bro, we are not getting this dude. There's no way he's getting past the Commanders. You can ask. And Rundown tried to convince me that, it was that they were going to take Drake May or somebody else. They didn't like him. And I just knew it was all fugazi. It was just whack. And I just gave up. So I was right for doing so. Yeah. It is what it is. Leo, let's stop with the reports of trades and whatnot for QBs didn't happen. We moving on. I agree 100%. 100%. Mr. Rated Transplant Angelo, Tay, Jacoby, Gallup, Tucker, Mayer, Bowers, Bryant, White, etc. So no excuses for AOC or Minshew. Protection should be good. Miller, Parham, Whitehair, James, JPJ, Mumford, Wagner, Glaze, Meredith. I mean, bro, I don't see how I can't agree with that. I absolutely think that is spot on, Angelo, spot on. JPJ is starting. 100% that man is starting. 100%. Jack Kenner is in the building. Salute, my guy. Salute. All right, Angelo, he's in heavy today. James need to bring up his game, but honestly, JPJ will be able to handle Chris Jones better than Andre James one-on-one. So James better show his worth in training camp. I think that's actually a great point, Leo. It's a great point. You know, I will say I'm with you, Chris. Yeah, he's not taking anybody like Chris Jones on one-on-one just yet, right? But I think he's got a shot. Absolutely has a shot to do some crazy things in the NFL. I'm excited. I'm excited with him. 100%. Let's see. We got anything else in here? Here we go. Leo, Abdullah days might be numbered. You know, that's a great call out. And I hate it. I shouldn't say I hate it. I like Abdullah, but it will be sad to see him go. He's got. I like the guy. I think he does a lot for us. Special teams, obviously, mainly. Just a lot of things. A lot of that work that a lot of people don't want to do, and we actually absolutely need it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think his days are numbered. I'll be sick. Yep. Eichenberg is going to be great. AP specializes in bringing out the best in linebackers. I couldn't agree more with you, man. I could not agree more with you on that one. A swing tackle in the third round, though. Still think Glaze was reach. Really want to see Glaze watch Senior Bowl. That's where he stood out 100%. Okay. Yeah. I did not know that. Question for Angelo. Do the Raiders keep 3 or 4 linebackers on the roster? It's a good question. I don't even know the answer to that. That's a very, very good question. Shout out to my guy. Cowtown in the building. Good to see you, my dude. All right, so we get a response. Jack, Abdullah should still be there. We will probably have 5 running backs on the 53-man roster. White, Madison, Abdullah. White, Madison, Abdullah, and Lau for special teams. But we'll see who makes the final 53. So you named 4. White, Madison, Abdullah, and Lau. Which we'll be talking about that guy. Yeah, we'll be talking about that guy right now. Right now. I'm just going to dive right in, right? Hey, this kid, Dylan Laub, again, as I always do, I got to give credit to where credit is due. Shout out to our guy, Ward Productions. Ward, where you at? It's probably still too early for you. It's probably like 5 in the morning. But yeah, he was on this guy, kind of like Chris was with JPJ. He'd been talking about this guy religiously. I knew about him because of the New Hampshire, right, FCS series. That's Montana State where I play. So obviously I watch and I pay attention to the top 25. And, you know, we've been in the top probably 5 for the last 7, 8 years. But as you know, the FCS series, the FCS division, if you will, absolutely produces some ballers. 100%. 100% they produce ballers. And, you know, the comparison with Dylan Laub is a good one, I think. I think it's a really, really good one. And I think that this kid didn't get the credit he deserved. And that is my guy, Danny Woodhead, who came out of a Division III school. I forget which one, but he literally shattered every record that you could imagine. I want to say he was out of Nebraska. Man, I can't recall where. Now I got to check because it's going to bother me. Danny Woodhead. Yeah, he went to a D3 joint. Yeah, where did he go to college? I have to find it. Chadron State. That's right. Chadron State. That's right. And I adored him. I thought he was a baller. I adored his play. Obviously, Running backs, yeah. It's my thing, man. I was happy. I think he is going to be a great pickup. And our guy hit it on the head. He's absolutely why Abdullah is in trouble. You can replace him everywhere. And I hate to say it, but with the younger, fresher legs and, the type of style of offense that he ran and how he could catch the ball out of the backfield, really got loose. I'm nervous for my guy, man. I'm nervous. And rightfully so. I think we got a gem in this kid in the 6th round. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if he can make the team too, right? I mean, that's the other part. I think it'll be a shoe-in unless something happens, right? Injuries or something like that. And again, I don't know. I actually don't know his numbers. I don't know his 40 time. I know he's not a 4.3 guy. I know he's not a 4.3, 4.4 guy. My guess is he's going to be right in the high 5s, 4.5s maybe. Maybe mid to high 4.5s. Wouldn't shock me if he's a 4.6 guy either. But the cone drill, right? 3-cone drill, all those things, shuttle, probably just outstanding. And clearly he can catch the ball. Amazing pickup. 6th round, 208. I think he was also projected to go way, way earlier than that. As one of the top running backs, if you will. But hey, it is what it is, right? I as I've told everybody, this draft, they're filled with running backs, and there will be a plethora of them as an undrafted free agent. And all I'll tell you is Frank Gore Jr. did not get drafted. I mean, Brendan Rice, the son of a Hall of Famer, got picked up in the 7th round. Ladies and gentlemen, this draft was so astronomically deep with talent. So deep with talent. I mean, the undrafted free agents themselves. And again, like I said, we're just going to run down those guys. I'm not even going to talk much. Maybe a tad bit of commentary, but just going to run down those guys to show what you guys have coming down the pipe, right? When it comes to me giving my grades. Which will be fun. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's Dylan Laub. Dylan Laub is going to be a monster for us, I think, personally. I think he's going to be a monster. So now we are going to dive into the last two. Trey Taylor. Okay, what do we think about Trey Taylor? Military. So what I love about this pick is the fact that we are really, really young in the secondary. Super young. And this kid is no different. But the military has a way of growing you up, if you will, right? Making you more responsible, making you, more understanding of leadership and what it takes, those kind of things. So bringing a kid like this, into the fold, and Trey Taylor out of the Air Force is amazing. And it's amazing for one other main reason. I don't know if you caught all of the, commentary between him and his new coach and AP. He had told him he came full circle. And I have made some comments where they were untrue. I wouldn't say I was lying. It was kind of repeating something that I've heard. But this one I'm pretty positive on. And he coached this kid in Pop Warner, Trey Taylor. So that's where the whole full circle comes to play. And it's exciting because AP is getting a lot of his guys. That's I can't stress enough, ladies and gentlemen. A coach getting his guys is the most dangerous coach on the planet because They are going to do absolutely whatever it takes for that man. Any way, shape, or form. You already got these guys saying, I'm going to tear through somebody. And we haven't even gotten to camp yet. That's how excited these guys are and how much they want to play for this man. So, Trey Taylor, welcome home. Hopefully you make the squad, man. That's the other thing. We got guys that's going to be looking for paydays, man. You play smart. He's definitely a leader. I think he can stick around. He's a ball hog. That's the other thing. He's an absolute ball hog. So we'll see. We'll see where it takes us. And last but not least, MJ Devonshire. Our last and final pick at 229. A Pittsburgh cornerback. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know. I don't know anything. I do know that Pitt's quarterback is from Austin, Texas. I'm pretty sure I know that. I know his mom. Like, that's about it. I don't know. I don't know much. I haven't heard much, to be honest, when it comes to MJ Devonshire. I don't know his measurables. I don't know any of that good stuff. So if anybody knows and would like to, put that in the chat, when I see it, I absolutely will speak on it and let the world know, if you will. What he's all about. But it's another cornerback. It's another secondary guy. So you're talking 2 corners, right? 2 corners and a safety and a linebacker. So you got 4 offensive guys and you got 4 defensive guys. I don't know how it doesn't even out any better. I don't see how it doesn't get any better. It's absolutely a good look for us. Great look for us. So, back to the chat. 2 pure starters in this draft, possibly 3. I absolutely see 3. I see 3 in this draft. I see 3. I have a feeling. Y'all gonna think I'm hating, especially where's TRS? Where's Chris? Come on, Leo. Maybe you're there too. I think Richardson could potentially battle for Jacorian's spot. I think anybody can battle for Jacorian's spot. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. So that's where my 3 comes into play. But we definitely got 2 pure stars. There's absolutely no question. Brock Bowers and JPJ is starting. 100%. 100%. Cowtown, initially I was pissed at the Glaze pick. Wow. That sounds like me when it comes to the tight end pick, buddy. So, yeah, that makes sense to me. Excuse me. Ready to transplant. Jack, Tommy Spillane, Diablo, all making the cut, but Bernie might not make it at linebacker. I can pretty much assure you that Bernie is not going to happen. If he does, I have a feeling you're starting to see some favoritism. And I just don't see that out of AP. So maybe he does win the battle as well, right? I don't know. We'll have to see. I am definitely keeping an eye on that, if you will, as far as how this plays out, for sure. So very interested to look at our linebacker crew when it's all said and done. Leo, chat lives matter. You are absolutely correct. That's why we always pay attention to the chat. Cowtown, if you want to see Glaze and his potential, just watch the 2022 Ohio State game. Then watch the 23 Ohio State game, and you'll know why we got him. Swing tackle basically, but could be under Miller. So swing tackle. See, I didn't even know that part about him. So he can play both sides. I, had no idea. Had no idea. Calm down. Jones don't want the wrestlers smoke. Heck no. Heck no, they don't want that smoke. No, nobody wants that smoke. I can assure you of it. I've dealt with it for way too long on those mats, those grappling events and so forth. The wrestlers always show up and show out, just to be honest. They do. The motor, it's just the motor is so bad. All right. I'm happy with the Glaze pick considering how the board fell. And yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. And you said here, I believe we wanted Karen Amagalje more. Yep, but like you say, Chicago took him. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So Cowtown, I'm happy with all the picks. I think Tom Telesco did his job. Shout out to Cowtown. I have to agree, man. I have to agree. Absolutely. And I don't know, man. I don't know, Angelo. I don't know if it's a panic pick. I really can't say that. Glaze, he could be the best lineman we have potentially. You just don't know. They're absolutely coming into a place that has a standard, has a thought process, and a Raider way to where it should level you up. That's the other beautiful thing about being on a team like this. Again, a player-led team, it forces you to level up. You know what I'm saying? Coach-led teams, right? You can get into all kinds of politics and craziness, but a player-led team, nah. You're gonna have to level up. You're gonna have to level up 100% in order to do something. Space Beast, it's tricky, right? It would have at least cost a 6 to move up for Karan. Was Karan more valuable than Lob? I don't know. Yep. No idea. Angelo agreed, but may end up being the right choice after being coached up. And there you go. That's why absolutely I say what I say when it comes to that. MC Raider, tomorrow I'm making me breakfast training camp. Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, like I told y'all, we went to the prime rib spot. The steak spot, Prime and Proper, I believe it's called. But they have a soul food spot called Joe Louis. And if you're not familiar, it's Joe Louis, the ex-boxing champ, heavyweight boxing champ of the world, Joe Louis. Obviously a legend, well known in the sports world, period, in general, let alone just boxing. But when I tell you training camp, listen to me. You get your choice of, what was it, grits, potatoes, or I forget the third. We went twice, by the way. We went twice. Shout out to Joe Louis. It was so good we went twice. The first time I had grits, the second time I had potatoes. I have to admit the grits were better. You can get biscuits or pancakes. The pancakes, man, they made this banana Foster's. I have to tell y'all, it was outstanding. So I didn't finish with training camp, right? You get grits or potatoes. You get pancakes or homemade biscuits, which I had both. I got pancakes the second time, got the biscuits the first time. Then you get this sausage. The sausage was just, I don't know how to explain it. It was like a split. It was ridiculous. And then you get eggs, however you want, of course. Sunny side up, overeat, whatever. I tried them a few different ways. Outstanding. Can't wait to go back. Can't wait to go back, man. Yeah, absolutely. Cannot wait to go back. And I agree with you, my dude. Raiders are 100% making the playoffs. There's no way they're not making the playoffs. I'm trying to figure out how far we go in the playoffs. I think we really do have the ability to win a few games. Yeah, I think we have a few. It wouldn't shock me if we got to the AFC chip this year. I mean, y'all already know Turf is already dreaming. I'm in dream world. I want us to go to the Super Bowl. I think we have the shot. But we definitely have the ability to get to the big AFC dance. For sure. 100% for sure. All right, so where are we at? Where are we at? Space Beast and show Mr. Turf's wild ride after getting rocked. Yeah, that was funny. Man, I'm glad to hear this right here. Most of all, you made me feel like I was there. That's what's up, man. That's what we wanted to try to do. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It was tough. It was wild, right? It was just chaos. It was nuts out there, ladies and gentlemen. It was nuts. Oh wow, this chat is heavy right now. Yeah, y'all are deep. I see my guy is in the building. TRS in the building. All right, so I'm going to bring it up to the next one. I'm going all in right here. We're going to get out of here on time and early tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are. This is our list of undrafted free agents, right? This is it right here. Clark Barrington, or let me start from the top, actually. Carter Bradley. By now, everybody knows who Carter Bradley is from South Alabama, Gus Bradley's son, right? So you obviously see the connection there. Clark Barrington, a guard from Baylor. Andrew Coker, the tackle from TCU. That one stood out to me. That one stood out to me big time. Excuse me. He's another guy, man, that may come out. And who knows, let alone make the team. The kid can start possibly. I mean, you just don't know. It's somebody to look for. And Andrew Coker. Jeff Foreman, wide receiver from Arkansas State. Don't know much. Again, I'm not going to know much about any of these guys, but as far as positions are concerned, we don't really need a wide receiver, if you will. So I'm sure he's just some talent, right? Some type of a talent that they want to give a look and give a shot. Tamari Fox, defensive tackle from North Carolina. I'm not mad at it. Push what we got. TJ Franklin, defensive end from Baylor. Amari Gaynor, another defensive end from North Carolina. DeMarcus Governor, cornerback from Northern Iowa. I mean, we are definitely picking guys of need 100% as far as undrafted free agents. Lydetrick Griffin from Mississippi State, wide receiver. That name is dope. I like it. I absolutely adore that Lydetrick. Jake Johanning, a guard, Furman. Ramel Keaton, wide receiver, Tennessee. I know that kid. I shouldn't say I know him, but I'm saying I know of that kid. Will Putnam, center from Clemson. So you know what, man? There is a little bit of a. I see why they call Andre James. Like, yeah, we you know, you're gonna be our starter, but I'm sure they also probably told him, man, you need to play. You need to get it popping, son, because you're gonna have some competition. They are creating next man up like nobody's business right now, just with this list alone. Phelan Sanford from Nebraska, safety. Another defensive tackle, Noah Shannon from Iowa. Iowa's been having some good teams too. Jaquan Shepard from Maryland, cornerback. another DN and Ron Stone from Washington State, and last but not least, another cornerback, Rashad Williams. I I'm excited. I think they've done a lot. I think they've picked all of the necessary positions to really, really get people going and understanding that it's time. It's time to do what you came to do in this league or move on, because our team is serious with it. This is the best I've seen in 20 years. In 20 years. Am I wrong, ladies and gentlemen? Am I wrong? I don't know. I have no idea. But what I can tell you is I think this team is going to be remembered for a long time. And it may not be for good reason. It could be for bad. I could see everything turning upside down on its head. If the defense regresses, right? The offense doesn't progress and they need more time because it's all new, right? There's all kinds of little nuances here that could really cause problems for us. But is that something that I expect to have happen? Nah, I think we're fine. I think we are in one of the best positions we could actually be in for quite some time. Telesco did his thing, even with the undrafted free agents. They paid the man his money, and he earned it, at least this year. We'll have to see how our head coach earns his money and utilizes these players on the field, because it's that time. It's that time to really get it going and really break out, because a lot of other teams are doing things as well. Faux show. It's everybody's building. Yeah. Everybody's building. I see my guy made it to the show. Eric Raiders, Haters, Hunter. Salute Nation. I was definitely shocked at 13, then getting JPJ at 44, knowing we could have had Fuaga. Also, then I listened. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Angelo, I should have known. Lewis the GOAT. You are absolutely right about that. He's a lot of people's GOAT, and I would never argue that. Absolutely adore Joe Lewis. He was murderer, straight up murderer. So we are right there at it. 1 hour and 14 minutes, going on 15 minutes. And I am going to keep it at that today. I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm going to say. I just wanted to give a recap, how much fun the fellas had. So you definitely don't want to miss the next time that TRS decides to all want to show up and have a blast, eat some good food, clown around, man. You know what I'm saying? Clown on each other, love on each other, man, and just have a really, really good time. It's definitely one of the trips I'll cherish and remember for the rest of my life, for sure. All I can tell you guys, if you ever get a chance to hang out with any of those dudes, Leo, Raider, MC Raider, Chris, yeah, don't miss your chance. You're missing out. You are totally missing out if you do. Yeah, those guys, those are my guys right there. Straight up. So, hey, like I say, 2 weeks, we got rookie training camp. I'll still keep going on and on with every player of my grades. Tomorrow, right, we got Protect the Shield and Spicy show. We got Rundown show. I believe Rundown is at 4 or 5 o'clock Central Standard or Eastern, which is 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then we got the Spicy and PTS show. I want to say that's 8 o'clock. Y'all know I'm not great with the times. I can never remember the time. So go check them out. Obviously, Thursday, it's the Turf and Rundown show. And then Friday, we right back in, dealing with those Shield Squad individuals to protect the Shield. And Saturday, man, we don't have nothing. Yet. We don't have nothing. And last but not least, you already know the Raiders Syndicate on Sunday. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I don't keep plugging this. Yes. Shout out to Angelo on this one because this is big. It's a big show. And I wanted to bring it up also because I got my new channel, the Knockout Canvas. I am definitely going to get that up and running, hopefully before the end of this week, and put on a show, and open that up right. You obviously know me and Angelo is going in hard. Coach Angelo, I may add. Not sure where I'm going to go with it. Probably Professor T. If you know, you know. If you don't, be sure to join those shows and you'll find out why I consider myself to be Professor T. So yeah, please go over and subscribe if you're a boxing fan, a combat, martial arts fan. Please go like and subscribe. I will start pushing content out there immediately, effectively this week, I'm sure. Getting ready for that Cinco de Mayo, you know what I'm saying? And we'll take it from there. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, as always, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. So thank you and goodbye. Turf is out. Peace. I don't see how we can't be happy about that. It should. So I immediately set myself up to expect the news. VIP section, you guys know how to do. So that's it.